Imagine a king so desperate for power, wealth, and immortality that he drank liquid gold. In the glittering halls of medieval Europe, alchemists promised eternal life and divine strength, but their potions carried a terrible price. What began as a quest for godlike power ended in agony, madness, and death. This is the strange and haunting tale of why medieval kings drank gold and why it destroyed them. Gold has always been more than a metal. To the medieval mind, it was perfection made solid. Unlike iron that rusted or silver that tarnished, gold never faded, never corroded, never broke down. It gleamed as if it held a piece of the sun itself. For kings, it symbolized divine power, eternal, untouchable, and chosen by God. In a world of disease, decay, and death, gold seemed like the one thing that stood above mortality. If it could resist time and corruption in the earth, many believed it might also protect the human body from the same fate. This belief took root in royal courts across Europe. Gold wasn't just treasure to hoard, it was something far greater. It was seen as the key to everlasting life. In the dark chambers of medieval laboratories, alchemists worked by candlelight, surrounded by strange powders, bubbling flasks, and cryptic texts. They sought the greatest prize of all, the philosopher's stone. Legends claimed this mysterious substance could turn ordinary metals into gold, and more importantly, create the elixir of life. The logic was simple but seductive. If gold was the purest and most incorruptible metal, then surely its essence could purify the human body. Alchemists believed that by dissolving gold into a drinkable form, they could pass its eternal nature into the veins of kings. The result, they promised, would be a body strengthened against sickness, a spirit protected from decay, and perhaps even immortality itself. And for rulers who already held wealth, armies, and power, what greater temptation could there be than the chance to conquer death itself? For medieval kings, the promise of drinkable gold was irresistible. Power on the battlefield could be lost. Thrones could be usurped. But immortality, that was the one crown no rival could ever take. And so, kings turned not just to their soldiers and priests, but to alchemists and physicians who whispered of miracles hidden in liquid gold. In royal courts, men of learning presented their shimmering elixirs in crystal vials, claiming they could strengthen the heart, sharpen the mind, and grant eternal youth. Monarchs, surrounded by reminders of death and plague, clung to these promises. Gold, the symbol of their rule, was now offered as the medicine of their souls. To drink gold was not just to seek health. It was to declare that even the frailty of the human body could be conquered by the divine power of a king's wealth. The alchemists gave it a name, aurum potabile, drinkable gold. It was no ordinary mixture. Gold was ground into powder or dissolved with acids, then blended with wine, honey, or herbs to mask its harsh taste. To the eyes of a desperate king, the result looked like liquid sunlight trapped in a cup. Physicians swore it could cure the deadliest of illnesses. It was prescribed for fever, plague, epilepsy, even depression of the soul. Some claimed just a few drops could restore youth. Others said it would bring eternal life itself. The potion was intoxicating in more ways than one. Its shimmer was a promise, its taste a reminder of luxury. And when presented before a monarch, it was not questioned, it was swallowed. The belief was absolute: if gold never decayed, then by drinking it, neither would the king. History records more than one ruler who fell under the spell of drinkable gold. In Europe, monarchs like Charles V, the Holy Roman Emperor, were said to take golden elixirs prescribed by their physicians. Across the world, Mughal emperors of India consumed gold leaf mixed into their medicines, believing it would bring strength and vitality. But perhaps the most tragic case was that of King Edward VI of England, the boy king. As his health declined, desperate doctors gave him concoctions of powdered gold. The shimmering cure did nothing to save him. Instead, his body grew weaker until he succumbed to illness at just 15 years old. Again and again, kings and nobles entrusted their lives to the promise of immortality in liquid gold. But instead of salvation, they found suffering. The truth was far darker than the promise. Gold, though dazzling and pure, is not meant to pass through the human body. In large doses, it becomes poison. The finely ground particles, swallowed with wine or honey, lodged in organs and tore through delicate tissues. The acids used to dissolve it scorched the throat and stomach. Instead of renewing strength, it brought nausea, pain, and slow decay. The kidneys struggled under the burden, the heart weakened. Some kings slipped into fevers that no physician could explain. Others wasted away while still clutching the hope that another dose might finally unlock eternal life. In their quest to become immortal, rulers had swallowed the very thing that hastened their deaths. To drink gold was not only a search for health, it was also a display of unimaginable wealth. Ordinary people wore gold as jewelry, if they could afford it at all. Kings, however, went further. They consumed it, turning their own bodies into vessels of luxury. In royal courts, sipping a golden elixir was a performance of power. Guests and courtiers looked on as rulers lifted cups that glittered in the candlelight, proving that they could drink what others could never even touch. It was a statement that their riches had no limits, that even death itself could be bought and swallowed. But beneath the shine was vanity. These men believed their crowns placed them above nature's laws, and in that pride, they poisoned themselves with the very metal they thought would make them gods. Behind every cup of liquid gold stood a physician or an alchemist, eager to please his king. These men held immense power. A physician's word could guide the ruler's health, and with it, the fate of an entire kingdom. Many of them truly believed in the power of aurum potabilia. Others simply knew that to question the practice was to risk their position, or even their lives. If a monarch demanded immortality, then immortality would be promised. And so they ground the gold, mixed the acids, and handed over a glittering death in a chalice. For kings, these men were trusted guides. For history, they became remembered as enablers of a fatal delusion. The end was never glorious. Kings who drank gold often died, not in triumph, but in agony. Their bodies weakened as if consumed from the inside. Stomachs burned, bowels failed. Fevers raged without cure. Physicians stood helpless as the very medicine they prescribed became the poison that killed their masters. Some lingered for weeks, wasting away in pain, still begging for more of the golden cure. Others collapsed swiftly, their final hours marked by confusion and torment. In the gilded chambers of palaces, where power and wealth once dazzled, rulers met their end as fragile as the poorest peasant. Gold, the eternal metal, could not preserve their lives. It only ensured that their deaths were remembered as cautionary tales of pride and desperation. The story of kings who drank gold is not just a tale of strange medicine, it is a mirror held up to human ambition. In their hunger for immortality, rulers blinded themselves to reason. Surrounded by wealth, they believed nothing was beyond their reach, not even eternal life. But nature is not swayed by crowns or treasure. Gold, no matter how pure, cannot outshine the truth of mortality. In chasing eternity, these kings hastened their own ends. Their glittering cups became their coffins. The lesson echoes through time. Power, wealth, and vanity cannot conquer death. And sometimes, the very thing we believe will save us is what destroys us.